In 1979, Ridley Scott revolutionized the sci-fi horror genre with Alien, a franchise with so many spin-offs and crossovers that it's virtually impossible to complete at this point. In this video, we'll take a look at all 31 xenomorph species featured in the Alien franchise. Let's start off with the first stage of the Alien life cycle, the ovomorph. These are essentially alien eggs. They have an immensely durable exterior that can withstand heavy impact in addition to having a defense mechanism that sprays acid when it's cut. Unlike the egg stage of other species, the ovomorph has a mind of its own. When a potential host approaches the ovomorph, it opens up and releases the next stage of the xenomorph life cycle, the facehugger. Facehuggers are typically beige and skin-like in color and exist solely to implant the xenomorph's larval stage inside a host. Its 8 legs allow the facehugger to travel rapidly across any surface and are also used to anchor itself to the host face. Once the facehugger attaches itself to a host, it begins growing the next stage of the xenomorph life cycle inside the host's thoracic cavity. This creature is known as a chestburster for the gruesome way it emerges from its host. Chestbursters are typically small in stature and are the most vulnerable of all xenomorphs. Without the armor or strength of its adult form, the only thing protecting the chestburster is its acidic blood. In the special edition of Alien 3, we learn that not all xenomorphs are born equally. The royal facehugger is a special variety of facehugger that's capable of impregnating 2 hosts. It also has a bladed tail for defense and is heavily armored compared to the regular variety. These additional defenses are important because the royal facehugger carries an alien queen embryo. A xenomorph queen lies at the center of a hive and is practically immobile due to her huge ovipositor. However, when the queen is separated from its eggs, it becomes a terrifying foe. The queen is about twice the size of a regular xenomorph and is more resistant to flames than automatic gunfire. Furthermore, xenomorph queens display an unusually high level of intelligence and strategic acumen, being able to coordinate and command other xenomorphs if needed. This brings us to the standard form of the xenomorphs, the drone. Most chestbursters grow up into drones, which stand at about 8 feet tall and have a long domed head. They're not particularly intelligent, but have been known to change strategies between stealth attacks and frontal assaults based on their strength in numbers. But the aliens typically charged with defending the queen and her hive are known as warriors. They typically have ridged skulls compared to the drones, and are faster and more nimble attackers. Larger hives with over 300 individuals had yet another class of defenders known as the Praetorians. These xenomorphs tower over average drones and are comparable to a queen in size. Praetorians are distinguished by their massive head crests and long dorsal spines. Just like the queen, a Praetorian has the authority to command drones and warriors, often leading them into battle from the front. After the Praetorians, let's move on to the more usual xenomorphs in the franchise, starting with the Runner. In Alien 3, we learn that the xenomorphs take on the characteristics of their host when the Runner emerges from an infected dog. Runners typically move on all 4s, even though it has the ability to stand on its hind legs. It's also highly agile compared to drones, but displays less intelligence, choosing to impulsively attack and maul targets in favor of stealth attacks. In Alien Resurrection, we see yet another new variant born under unusual circumstances. The pale white newborn was created when a xenomorph queen was contaminated with human DNA, giving it a womb capable of producing a live birth. Unlike any other xenomorphs, the newborn closely resembled human physiology, with a human-shaped skull and features such as a nose and eyes. Additionally, the newborn showed a wide range of emotions, including rage, curiosity, and a strong loyalty toward Ripley 8. The trilobite is yet another xenomorph that was born from a womb. This time it was from Shaw in Alien Prometheus. This alien is similar to a facehugger, as it serves as a delivery system for the xenomorph's next stage. However, the trilobite is comparably massive, towering over a human in its mature form, and possessing 7 tentacles like a squid instead of the facehugger's arachnid legs. The trilobite in Prometheus goes on to infect an engineer. The creature that emerges from the engineer's body was nothing like a regular chestburster, and is known as a deacon. The deacon has a distinctive head shape, ending in a sharp point, which it uses to tear through its host. It looks less biomechanical than a drone, and appears to be the same height as an average human, just like Prometheus had the deacon. Covenant introduced us to a new type of xenomorph called the bloodburster. Bloodbursters are small, pale quadrupeds produced when the host is infected by spores, released from the mutated egg sacs created by the android David. Unlike chestbursters, which try to hide until they mature, bloodbursters are aggressive from birth and even emerge from their host by viciously clawing themselves out. The bloodbursters mature into a previously unseen class of xenomorph called the neomorph. Neomorphs have pale white skin and a spiked tail, which can be used to slash or beat victims. The neomorphs were engineered by David to be more instinctive and wipe out all competing animal life. Consequently, they lack the intelligence and planning abilities of other xenomorphs. The Praedomorph was yet another alien created because of David's experiments. It had longer limbs than a drone and looked more organic than biomechanical. Just like the Neomorph, Praedomorphs were fierce and unintelligent, often displaying aggression toward fellow aliens as well. That covers all the xenomorphs featured in the Alien movies, but there's still a lot more to explore in the franchise. The Alien vs. Predator spin-off opened up a whole new world of creatures, starting off with Grid. Grid earned its name from the crisscross pattern on its skull left behind after being injured by a predator's net. Grid appears to be a leader among the xenomorphs and was more capable than the rest, taking out 2 predators on his own, and nearly taking out a third before dying in an explosion. However, the most iconic xenomorph from AVP is the Predalien. As the name suggests, this xenomorph was created when a predator named Scar was infected by a facehugger. This Predalien was effectively an upgraded queen, being able to skip the ovomorph and facehugger stages completely and depositing embryos directly inside human women. Since it emerged from a predator, the Predalien was ridiculously strong and could not be stopped in direct combat. It was eventually killed by a nuke that wiped out an entire town along with its targets. In the Aliens vs. Predator video game, we learn the backstory of the predators hunting xenomorphs when we were introduced to the matriarch. The matriarch was a xenomorph queen that has lived for millennia. It had gray skin, a massive scarred crest, and a thick hide that was effectively bulletproof. The matriarch was originally captured by predators to produce offspring for them to hunt, and was later trapped by Weyland-Yutani, who forced her to produce drones for their research. The matriarch opens up a whole discussion about the royal hierarchy of the xenomorphs. In the Alien games, we encounter the Empress, a rare evolutionary step beyond the queen, that rules over multiple queens and their hives. Reaching the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Empress has 2 sets of arms and a double-layered crest. However, this is not even the highest level a xenomorph queen can reach. That title goes to the Queen Mother, the rarest alien species in the franchise. A Queen Mother absolutely dwarfs even Empresses and is immensely strong, being able to wipe out an entire fire team with just one flick of her tail. Unlike other xenomorphs, the Queen Mother also has telepathic capabilities, being able to manipulate human emotions and even entering their dreams. Following the thread of royalty, we find the Xenomorph Kings, who are combat-focused aliens present in large hives. Kings typically command smaller teams of drones and are characterized by their spiked crests, oversized hands, and rapid regenerative abilities. A king was also featured in Alien vs. Predator: Deadliest of the Species, where we were introduced to the white hybrid xenomorph. These hybrids were created by a corrupted AI mainframe known as Toy, using DNA from xenomorphs, predators, and humans. The white hybrid has enhanced intelligence, being capable of speaking and wielding firearms. In Alien Bloodlines, we encounter another genetic blend through the Alpha Xenomorph, which contains both human and Corcoran Highland goat DNA. It has bull-like horns, stands tall like a Praetorian, and exhibits traits similar to intelligent drones like Grid. The final hybrid on our list is the Anchor Point Hybrid Xenomorph. This hybrid propagates from airborne spores and makes its victims undergo horrific mutations before the xenomorph violently erupts. It has a more human-like face, featuring a nose and small eyes, and shows less physical resilience than traditional xenomorphs. In Alien Genocide, we encounter the second colored xenomorph of our video, in the Red Xenomorph. The Red Xenomorphs are a rogue strain that was created when a red queen mother emerged from a hive that had lost its queen. This breed created their own colony and eventually fought a civil war against the traditional xenomorphs on their planet. Despite their autonomy being observed, human scientists dismissed the Red Xenomorphs as mutants and didn't study them further. Some aliens are known for their unique combat abilities, starting with the Spitter, which is first seen in Aliens Colonial Marines. It's a long-range specialist, capable of launching acid projectiles from bulbous sacs on either side of its head. The Spitter features a smaller crest like a queen's, with a distinctive yellow-green coloration. In the same game, we encounter the Crusher, also known as the Charger. This xenomorph is known for its unique mode of attack, where it gets down on all fours and charges its enemy. Despite its strength and thick skull, the Crusher is not very smart. Its blind charge leaves its more vulnerable back and neck open to counterattack. In stark contrast to the Crusher, the Prowler from the Colonial Marines is a nimble predator that leaps at its targets from the shadows. This xenomorph is easily identifiable by the bright red accents on its black body. The Prowler lacks power and can be thrown off by a human. However, this is not a major drawback, as it typically plays a support role, holding down targets while other xenomorphs attack. The Necromorph is a unique variant introduced in Alien Prototype, created by Dr. Gagnon. Created by Dr. Gagnon, it resulted from a xenomorph host being infected with necrosis. Covered in boils and lesions, this variant lives in constant agony and chooses to hunt alone. Due to its ability to spread its infection to other organisms, the Necromorph xenomorph is effectively a walking biological weapon, an alien's infiltrator. A xenomorph is mutated when it's exposed to the engineer's black goo, producing the black goo xenomorph. This creature was an albino, with pale white flesh that was almost translucent. It develops telepathic abilities and an intelligence greater than regular drones, enabling it to control other xenomorphs. The final xenomorph on our list is yet another mutant variant, the irradiated xenomorph. This bioluminescent blue mutant appears in Alien's Aftermath, having survived the explosion on LV-426. The irradiated xenomorph adapted to the extreme radiation aboard the ship, which converted its blood into a freezing substance resembling liquid nitrogen. And with that, we've covered all 31 xenomorphs in the Alien franchise. Let us know which one you think is the coolest down below, and stay tuned for more awesome Alien content. See you in the next one. Bye!